So I just want to talk to you real quickly about something that happened to me this week. And I was in this business accountability group. Everyone was like going around sharing their wins, right? You know how the drill works, right? Like one person had like a major launch, another one hit a big revenue goal, and by the time it got to me, I kind of froze, right? I had this like full blank stare, not because I hadn't made any progress. You guys know I'm out here doing all kinds of stuff, but because somewhere between everyone's highlight reels and the things that they've been doing, I couldn't figure out like what I had done that even had value or even counted anymore. And that's when it hit me like comparison doesn't just steal your joy, it totally steals your sight, right? It blinds you to the beauty of what you've built, of the strength it took to stay in the game, and the fact that you're still here, still showing up, right? And so today we're going to go there. We're going to be like unpacking how to spot those quiet ways that comparison rewires your thinking and how to break free from it before it all completely breaks you down. Because the truth is, your life is already way more beautiful than you've been giving it credit for. And if you don't believe me, like just stick with me for a couple minutes and I'm sure that you will by the end. Who else remembers show and tell in school when you were a kid? Like that moment when everyone's got all their cool stuff out. Did it make you want to shrink back and hide what you brought? So that's how I felt in this accountability group this week. Like everyone sharing their wins, like really big, cool wins that I wanted to celebrate with them about, but I got totally thrown and it felt like I was back in second grade again at show and tell, right? You guys remember how this all works, right? I had planned at show and tell to talk about my favorite barrette. And y'all, I had hair so long that I could sit on it. So believe me when I say barrettes are everything to me at this moment, right? But then as all the other kids got up there and they started sharing like remote control cars and Cabbage Patch doll kids, right? All the flashy things. By the time it totally got to me, I wanted to completely disappear, like, and hide. The thing that I had loved just minutes before suddenly felt like not enough. So, how many of you guys can relate to that, right? Like, I had no time in that moment to pivot. And so here I showed up, shaking hands, showing my barrette, pretending to still be proud of it, while inside I felt totally small, shamed, and embarrassed. Right. And so now, when you fast forward to my life today, I still catch myself doing this, right? When I'm at a Bible study and everybody's checking in how they're doing, or coaching calls or accountability groups, that moment it's my turn, I find myself not feeling like enough and then saying out loud, like, you can skip me. I have nothing to share, right? Can anybody else relate to that? I'm certain I'm not the only one, right? But here's what I realized though, comparison doesn't just steal your joy, it's going to steal your vision, right? It tells you that because you're not where they are, or you don't have what they have, you're not far enough, or you don't have enough, or you personally aren't enough. Like you feel behind, you feel like you're failing, right? And that's a big fat lie because you're not behind. You're actually on a divine timeline. And that's really important to remember because God has never looked at your journey and said, she should be further along by now, right? So, where does that voice or that pressure come from that that you don't have enough or you're not enough, right? I can tell you right now, it didn't come from the Father of Lights, right? He celebrates that faithfulness of you showing up and doing the things in the unseen, right? He honors everything you're doing in the quiet. And he's not asking you to outshine everyone, right? He's just asking you to show up and say yes, right? And so to help you see what you're carrying, what's already beautiful and powerful in your journey, I did create a workbook for you. So you can download it inside the Facebook group. In it, you're going to reflect on where you've grown, what God has carried you through, those subtle ways where you say like skip me and that you don't have to do that anymore, right? It's time to stop skipping yourself and disqualifying your story. So go grab that workbook. You've got way more going on to show at show and tell than you think. All right, so let's get back. So when we compare ourselves, we think the problem is her, like some influencer, um, some fit 20 something year old woman in a magazine, right? But the truth is, the woman who's making you feel not enough is you. And it might be just your younger version of yourself. Like I like to call her the younger woman. We need to be honest. Comparison isn't always about other people. And so that's why it's so sneaky, right? Sometimes the person we can't stop measuring ourselves against is ourselves. It's the younger us, right? The one who had more energy, right? The one who could run on fumes and still make it to dinner looking fabulous, right? Or the one that the body didn't ache after bending over to pick something up. That happened to me this week, right? And then the one who didn't second guess every decision that was going on in her life because she hadn't failed yet. Okay. You know exactly who I'm talking about, I'm sure. And so she's the version of you that you used to be. And somehow she's become this like gold standard. And she's in your head every time you walk in front of a mirror. She's whispering when you try to show up confidently in the room. And then she's sitting next to you when you're wondering if you're too late to make something of your life. Right. And here's that plot twist. She's not even real, right? She existed in the past, but she's not even real anymore. You've outgrown her. And so you've endured things that she couldn't have handled in this season. You've carried responsibilities she never even imagined, right? And yet here you are comparing your now with her from then. Okay. So totally drop a 2 in the chat if you've ever found yourself doing that. Because scrolling through all those old photos, reminiscing about how easy things used to feel, wishing you still looked like her or looked like that, or moved like that, right? It's time to break that cycle because you're not supposed to be her anymore, right? You've grown. She had her chance in her season, but she wasn't built for this one, right? You are. You're built for this season. So the one that has the stretch marks, you've earned that wisdom, that deeper faith, the battle scars, the quiet strength. That's who she is now. So she's not the one who's supposed to finish the race of your life. She got you this far, but she's not supposed to cross that finish line. You are. So listen, part of your struggle with comparison has been around how you look, how your face is changing, how your hormones are changing, how aging just feels more visible than ever, right? And you're not alone. It's all midlife women come to this place. But here's the difference. We're not here to chase youth. We need to be committed to stewarding the beauty in this season, right? And that's why I'm hosting my face exercise workshop on August 30th. If you want to look and feel your best, but show up as the woman you are right now, not who you used to be, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that and how I do that. Okay. So go register in the Facebook group or at makinglifebeautifulagain.com. But let's go ahead and now start talking about why comparison isn't just emotional. It's actually a spiritual battle and how it's keeping you from the life you actually want, right? Because if the enemy can't take you out, he's going to distract you. And comparison, that's one of his favorite strategies and tactics, right? We think comparison is just an insecurity problem, but really it's one of his strategies to distract you. Because the more time you spend watching her or mourning who you used to be, the less time you spend becoming who you're called to be right now in this season. See, when comparison is in the driver's seat, here's what happens. You start hesitating. You silence yourself. You hold yourself back from fully showing up because you assume your offering is not enough, right? It's not polished enough. It's not pretty enough. And little by little, you drift away from the actual assignment that God has given you. That hurts a little bit, right? Like drop a 3 in the chat If you have ever felt God tugging something on your heart to step into something, but you stalled out because you were too busy comparing yourself or your path to someone else's, thinking that your idea or your calling or what you are holding in your hands is not enough, right? And here's what I know: you weren't created to watch someone else live your life. I've seen that happen when I took what I had in my hands and threw it away because I didn't think it was enough. I sat there and watched someone else do it, right? You weren't designed to hide behind a someday. And you definitely weren't saved to stay silent, right? Comparison is the enemy's counterfeit version of identity. So, how do we take our lives back, our beautiful life back? We start showing up again, not perfectly and not publicly if you're not ready, but faithfully, consistently, just showing up, right? We stop skipping ourselves when it's our turn. We start honoring what's in our hands. And we trust that the beauty that we have isn't built through our hustle or applause or what we see in a mirror. It's built through obedience. And so you want a beautiful life? Like, don't let comparison rob you of it. Because the truth is, it's probably already beautiful, right? If you've just been too distracted to see it, like, slow down, turn off the distractions and start watching your life. You're going to think it's one of the most beautiful things that has ever existed, right? You're going to be able to see the miracles taking place. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this, because if you've been distracted chasing the herd highlight reel, right, or mourning who you used to be, if you've been living distracted, chasing all those things, your life is already beautiful, right? Not because it looks like all those other people and not because it matches who you used to be, right? But because it's rooted in who God is forming you into right this second, right? So let's go ahead and take that next step. Like, go grab that workbook inside the Facebook group. It's your space to pause and reflect, reconnect with what's actually true about your story and your journey and your beautiful life. And don't forget to sign up for the free face exercise workshop on August 30th. We're going to be talking about how to steward your beauty in this season, right? No filters, no shame, not chasing your 20s, just simple ways to feel and look your best right where you are right now. So, next week's topic is going to be added to this one. We're going to be talking about your worth isn't measured by a mirror, right? I can totally already feel that one. And so I'm excited to share that with you. But until then, please, this week, when you are presented with an opportunity to speak up and share your voice, don't let yourself be skipped. Okay? Don't shrink back. Don't silence that beautiful life and testimony that God is building in you and through you. Okay? We'll see you guys next week.